love ceremonies. I love familial ceremonies, the most. I was really glad that the American Express folks chose this true story of this wedding crisis, largely solved with the help of American Express, as one of the commercials to do.
We just suddenly got this email saying, we've decided to use your story.
I went for my final fitting and the dress was fine, looked really good. And then the day that it was actually delivered to the wedding, we took it out of the bag and said, what's that on the side of the dress? And then we got it out and it was makeup. We tried calling around a few places, but the dress had to be cleaned in a specific way. You couldn't just take it to a normal dry cleaner's.
We'd only had American Express car for about 3 months at that point. I just thought, well, it's obviously a kind of thing that they try and do, is be extra helpful, so it's definitely worth giving them a call. Then I got another email saying, on behalf of American Express, I'd like to invite you to come to the shooting of a commercial for American Express in Los Angeles.
Basically interviewed you both and we got both sides of your stories and knew that we had to tell it in 60 seconds.
When I hit those words, I was like, I literally made that noise, which I never do. So then I read the email out to Olive, and Olive had the same reaction. They didn't mention the name of the director, but they did say high-profile director. And me and my friends at this point, we'd started to talk about the possibility of, people were making kind of jokey suggestions. But funnily enough, I realised that for some reason in my head, I just kind of settled on it being Ron Howard, and it was Ron Howard.
Nice to meet you too.
We weren't really sure what form the ad was going to take, but we said maybe there's going to be like a pretend wedding. And one of the things we said was, do you think it's going to be one of those Hollywood ones where all the chairs are outside and they have like a floral arch and things? And then as we came walking up the drive and we saw it, we were like, oh, it's just what we said.
Where we got married was a big sort of, like you see, a traditional English country house. It was really, really lovely. As far as that goes, it's pretty nice. A nice house with nice gardens. The weather, obviously, not the same. But we had a pretty clear day, which for April in England, you're lucky. The dress actually is quite similar. It's not far off really. It's the same sort of shape. Mine was sort of a bit more 50s and a bit more fitted, and then it puffs out at the bottom. But yeah, it's really good.
There's kind of not much of a resemblance, but you can see they were the same kind of type. Like, we actually thought that they'd cast them after looking at our photos.
I think she obviously works out a lot more than me.
The second wedding in the Howard family is coming up. I'm praying there are no stains in our wedding. My job would be to soothe, and if there's any financial support required, I'm there for that.